everybody, welcome back to the shop. My name is Doug. It's mid-January 2020. I hope everybody had a great New Year and a happy holiday season. We're back down in the shop today to take a look at a turquoise Biax scraper that I got off of eBay. Certainly not cheap, didn't break the bank, but it's got some issues. I didn't find that out until I took the Richard King scraping class. That this thing is kind of a little too loose to do any kind of really efficient power scraping. So we're going to be taking a look at how this whole thing works and seeing if we can't get some new bushings in it to get it to run right. So let's take a look at what we've got and how we're going to go ahead and fix it. Thanks for joining me. Alright, we're over here at the bench, and I've had to put a new extension cord in the back of this thing. And the issue that we're having, as we found out, as Richard kind of advised me on, was that there's a rod that slides back and forth. This is a cradle that holds the scraper blade down, and we've got a pretty significant amount of slop in this in these two bushings here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we can do to pop those out and put new ones in. I've already talked to Biax. This thing is so old that you can't get bushings for them. So we'll probably have to get some oil-light bearing material and go ahead and do it ourselves. There's a strap that fits on over this entire thing here. What we're going to do is just go ahead and take this shoe off. There's a little black bushing that goes in the back of that, and the Biax blade fits right down in the center there. You can kind of see, well, at least you can hear some of the slop that we've got to deal with here. So what I'm going to do is take these screws out. And remove this shoe. Now you might be able to see some of the highlighted areas here. This has got a little bit of a wear groove in it, which may be an issue. Once this thing is rebushed, you can kind of see some of the slop that's in this thing. This may need to be taken over the surface grinder, ground down, but all of this will need to be addressed if that's the case. But we're going to go ahead and redo the bushings first and kind of go from there. As Richard says, just keep investigating. We've got 3 bolts that hold this thing together. I've taken the others 2 off already. I'm just going to get my 9mm wrench here, undo the last one. Just kind of pop this thing apart. Likes the Sid. There we go. Here's the mechanism. Now, this is kind of interesting. I don't know how many other people are fascinated with mechanical motion, but this goes ahead and takes a rotary action and puts it into converts it into linear motion. And I believe it's adjustable. I know some of the newer models are, but we'll take a look at how this all kind of goes together as we make our way in the rebuild. We've got a steel bushing right here, and you can kind of see there's a lot of slop in that one. And we've got the same type of bushing on the inside there. So I'm going to see if we can't pop these things out and put new material in there and get those cinched in so it's nice and tight. Hey guys, let me show you what I just got done turning. I've got a rod here, just 1/2 inch core rolled steel, turned a bit of a nub at the end here. That's going to go inside the quill in the mill, and I've had to turn down about 5 inches of the OD here, about 40 thousandths, so that it fits inside of the ID of the bushing. And I've also turned a small bullet here where the ID is just slightly, the OD is just slightly larger than the ID of the bushing, because there's not a whole lot of registration on the bushings there because of the groove spanning the two bushings on the Power Scraper. That's what basically holds both of the bushings in. This will fit through the Power Scraper head and then down onto the bullet, which in turn is pressed up against the bushing, and using the mill as an arbor press should be able to pull those out. Let's head to the mill. Give you a quick tour of the setup here. I've got the arbor that I made chucked up into the quill here. That's going down through the ID of the first bushing, and I've got the little bullet, which is got an ID of not the OD of the bushing, but it's a little bit larger than the ID of the first of the bushing here, because remember, we don't have access to the full OD because there's a crease in the center here that is used as a stop to keep the bushings from coming out. So that just drops into there, and then we come down with the handle. And we should have that first bushing out bench. We can see that the board doesn't look too bad. You can see the stop at the bottom there. Here's the bush that came out of it. I'm not sure if you can really see how oblong that is, but if I take the shaft that went through it and slip it on, you can see that there's tons of play in it, and that was really what was causing the problem. And I'm sure some of the excess wear on the shoe that rides back and forth on those ways that we were looking at. So we'll go back to the mill and set up to take the second bush out of the back of the scraper. Alright, got the puck in place, and now we'll just press on through. There we go. Piece of cake. Back to the bench.